we're trying to work out a name what to call it. And at the time, we were all watching the movie, the car one, the great car race. And there was the car named Professor Fate in that, and that's how it's all sort of come about. So we had one of those traffic cones, orange cones, and we stuck it on the front, and so we decided then to call it Professor Fate. So that's how we ended up getting its name, painted black and everything. It sort of looked like something like that vehicle, and temperamental thing. Engine, yeah, as I say, is a 10 horsepower Stanley. We're running at 350 pounds on the boiler, which you get about 300 in the engine maximum. The cylinders are 3.5 by 4.5 inch strokes, 1-to-1 drive to the engine to the back wheels. The boiler is a THRU automotive boiler, water tube, oil fired, and I really want to explain how the boiler is put together a little bit. Alright, we got a bottom drum, you have a top drum, you've got 1/2 inch tubes running up so far into a 2-inch tube, nearly up to the top, back to 1/2 inch into the top drum. Then you've got 3/4 inch tubes running down on the angle into another 2-inch tube to allow the water and circulate in there. Steam separates to go up to the top drum. There's baffle plates in between the tubes as you come up, so we're getting about six tubes. You've got to turn the gas, and then another baffle to turn the gas again into the top part of the boiler, where you've got a water heater to preheat the feed water going into the boiler, so the water's virtually boiling before it gets into the boiler. And then finally the gases go out through the top tube and off the waste.
So when you got it, how much was done? How much of it was made when you got it?
Well, it was virtually up to a stage where it could just run.
Yeah.
And but when we firstly got it home and we started to run around with it sort of thing, it just wouldn't keep steam up. And so I decided to alter the burner and that in it. And what's the name who put me onto it, Bert Carlisle, he said that we'll change the burner and put one of these Danfoss burners in it. And so we did that, and that started to increase the pressure in it, and I altered the condenser, because the condenser that was on it was useless. Like it was a little car radiator, and it wouldn't condense the water back, it got too hot. And yeah, we drove it around for probably 3 or 4 years at home, up and down the streets and whatnot, and I blew a tube in it, and it got parked up for probably about 10 years in the front yard. And then when Philip come along, sort of thing, got of age, sort of thing, he said, well, we've got to get this thing out, we've got to get it running. So we had a good look at it, pulled the boiler apart, and done a patch on the tube, sort of thing, to get over the problem. And got it going again. It ran and ran, but still wasn't right. But you'd probably go for 5 or 6 miles and you'd start to lose pressure. So Philip said, oh well, we need to make this thing more efficient. So we pulled the boiler apart, altered a lot of things in it so we could get bigger combustion area in it, and tried it again. We brought it up here, ran it round, and it actually went real well. And then we had a problem develop in the engine. crossheads all started coming loose. The Phillip, this is going to be a big job. We had to pull the engine out of it, took it all home, and Phillip was in his apprenticeship, doing his apprenticeship then, and we rebuilt all the engine, put all new slides in it.
Tell us about the engine. Tell us about the engine. What sort of engine is it?
It's a 10 horsepower Stanley steamer engine. Obviously come out of a Stanley that was scrapped years and years ago. And Len Harrison, who put it together, he actually built a whole complete new housing to hold the diff and everything, so you could bolt the whole lot together, and instead of being gear driven, it's chain driven. And it goes into the back hub sorting, which is a reduction in the sorting. So the engine is actually doing the same speed, this is Mac wheels, doing 1-to-1. We run on 350 pounds. The cylinders are, I think under memory, about a 3.5 and 4.5 inch stroke. At 300 pounds, there's a tremendous amount of power there. Yeah,